A lot of this is just practicing with row operations. So let's first set up our matrix. Our matrix is going to be, let's see, 1, -2, 3, and 9. So we have 1, -2, 3, and 9. The next one we have a -1, a 3, and a 0 because there's no z. So -1, 3, and a 0. And then finally a -4. And the last one, I'm just copying the coefficients down. 2, -5, 5, and 17. Do a ... right there to show that that's, separating those. This is the matrix that we're working with right here. Okay, so what's our goal? Well, with this one, it's still getting it in row echelon form. It's row, echelon. And row echelon form for this one, since there's more numbers, it's going to be 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, number, 1, 0, number, 1, and then number. And I'm writing the numbers for these ones because those are ones that you don't care about right now. What you care about are the ones, and you care about the zeros. Yeah, you want to have ones in every equation. Now, remember all the row operations. There's 3 of them. This first number right here is already what we want it to be. But let's say this row was down here. You could switch those rows if you want the 1 right there. Okay, so we got a 1 here. We're done with that one. Now we look at this number. I like to go in columns and work in columns. How am I going to make this a 0?
Multiply by 0.
You can't multiply it by 0 because that would make everything a 0 right here.
Or you can add 1.
And in the future, I'm going to want that to be a 1 right there. So let's just look at this one. Let's just add 1 to it. You can't add 1 to it. You can multiply something to it. You can add rows to it, or you can switch rows. Add the top row to the bottom row. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to take that top row. To get our new row 2, we're going to take that top row and add it to the second row. Hey, let's do 2 operations at once. How can we make this one a 0? There's 2 ways to do it. What do you guys want to do? You guys want to take this top one and multiply it by -2? Or you want to just multiply this one by +2 and add it to it? You can do either one. Want to do the +2 one? All right, fine. So we're going to take row 2, we're going to multiply by 2, and we're going to add that to row 3. So that's going to be our new row 3. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Now the top one doesn't change, so I'm just going to write that one down. 1, -2, 3, and 9. The second row does change, so I'll write that one in red. Okay, now this is where, just go one number at a time, okay? So for this first one, in this row 2, I'm going to take row 1 and add to row 2. So what is -1 plus 1? What is 3 plus -2? What is 0 plus 3? Okay, and then what is -4 plus 9? Okay, now the last row, the third row, I'm going to take the second row, this is the old second row, I'm going to multiply it by 2, multiply it by 2 and then add it to row 3. So, what is -2 times -1? I'm sorry, 2 times -1 plus 2? 0. So that's 0. 3 times 2 plus -5. What's 3 times 2? 6 plus -5. 0 times 2 plus 5. -4 times 2 plus 17. So let's recap where we're at. We have a 1 there, a 0, and a 0, which is, what we want. Now we go to the next column. We already have a +1 there. Sweet. So we don't have to do anything about that one. This one needs to be a 0 right here. So how are we going to make this one a 0? Subtract which row? You want to subtract the second row, especially because the first number is a 0, and that's going to keep that one 0. So my new row 3 is going to be gotten by taking the opposite of the second row and adding it to the third row. Now that's kind of the same as just saying row 3 minus row 2. So you can write this one, or you can write this one for this operation. All right, so let's write our new matrix. The first row is not going to change. The second row is not going to change. I'm not subtracting 2 from 3. I'm subtracting row 2 from row 3. Now, the thinking this way is dangerous, just like we were talking. This way is probably the best way to think about it because you don't have to worry about the order with addition. So we'll take the top or the bottom and subtract the top, or let's multiply the second row by -1 and then add it to the bottom. So I'm going to get 0 for the first number. The second number, I take 1, multiply it by -1, and then add it to the 0. I get 0, or add it to 1 to get 0. What is 3 times -1 plus 5? That's 2. 5 times -1 plus 9. That's 4. Okay, are we in row echelon form now? No, we have this column's good, but this one, that 2 needs to be a 1. So, yeah, we're just going to take our new R3 is going to be R3 divided by 2, or you can say multiplied by 1/2. So, 1, -2, 3, and 9, 0. These rows didn't change, so I'm just copying them. My third row is going to change. So what am I going to do to my third row? I'm going to divide everything by 2. What is 0 divided by 2?
0.
What's 0 divided by 2?
0.
So these are both zeros. And then what's 2 divided by 2? And then 4 divided by 2? Dos. All right, once we get to this point, we can write out our new system of equations. This would be 1x, this would be 2y, this would be z equals that. 1x minus 2y plus 3z equals 9. And then we have 1y plus 3z equals 5. Then we have 1z equals 2. Now that it's in row echelon form, we know what z is already. What is z? 2. Okay, now how am I going to find the y? Take the z and plug it in right here. So what's 3 times 2? 6, and you subtract that from 5? -1. And so now for the last one, I'll plug everything in. We have just x minus 2 times y plus 3 times z equals 5. I'll plug in -1 there and 2 right there.
9.
Is that supposed to be 9? Good looking out. Alright, so -2 times -1, that's going to be positive 2. 3 and 2, that's going to be 6, equals 9. 2 and 6 is 8. Subtracted, I get x equals 1.